Greetings and salutations, humans. This is Froggy and Friends, and we are playing Grit. Cedric, Caleb at the moment. We are not going to have video from him, but we still have audio. So,
Hello, hello.
what happened last time on Grit? Cedric was running, screaming. Edmund disappeared from behind him. And then we had an epic battle where we got to see Tulok and Lily fight off Tulok's dad, and then Cedric actually used his Tesla gun and made Tulok's dad no more, as well as hitting Tulok and Lily. We had Jeremiah go toe to toe with the Hangman. We had Jade, Fury, and Frederick escape from the Rojas's home and come upon the aftermath of Cedric's Tesla gun blast, which was Tulok and Lily kind of laying on inside a building, and then they dealt with Jade's old gang, took care of Carlos, and what they have left is Brutus and Zeke, and there are 3 ghouls standing in front of them, and Cedric used the Tesla cannon, firing it 3 times in the exact same position, ripping the largest rift that he's ever seen, and a large eye with tentacles, 4 arms with clawed heads are trying to rip open this rift that is about 30 feet from top to bottom and about 10 to 15 feet from left to right as it's being torn open. And we're going to be starting right at the beginning of Brutus and Zeke's turn and the ghouls. So Brutus had already thrown his axe, so all he has is his fisticuffs, and Zeke still has multiple knives on him. Brutus is going to once again try to attack Jade. Where did I put that? I had it out, and I set it to the side like a silly McSillerson.
So silly.
Yep.
Nice to meet you, Mick Sillerson.
You won't talk to me.
Something like Gollum.
The precious, nonsense.
Yeah. Fresh fish.
Okay, come on, open up.
Also, sorry if you hear cats being crazy. They are crazy.
Well, they are cats. Oh, there it is. Don't worry, everything. There we go.
Nice.
Well, I say that. There's the sheriff, there's the deputy, those guys are all dead. There you are. Okay. We've had a lot of grit games with a lot of different baddies.
Lots of baddies.
Lots of baddies dead.
Yeah.
Yep, lots of baddies dead. Okay, so I just rolled. That's just a single success to attack you. I doubt that's going to work on you, Jade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's not even. And then we've got 2 more failures. Another knife being thrown by Zeke. Okay. That's just getting old.
I have 2 successes with a parry.
Yeah, I already knew. I'll go off your guard
Okay.
just to kind of speed things along. I had that out this time. What was that? I've got a single success with the ghoul attacking Frederick, but you have your weapons, so he needs 2 successes to even try to attempt. Cool. Cool. All 5 of my guys totally just biffed it, not doing a single thing to any of the targets.
We love to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry and not sorry.
Oh my gosh, that just is irksome. Alright, so, Cedric, as you're being clutched by these cold stone claws flying high above, and you're seeing that your Tesla gun is being carried by another one of these things, that you feel the flapping in this cold stone flesh holding you tightly. You're glancing back at that rift, and you're seeing the fingers kind of just appear out of nowhere because you're seeing the back of it, so it actually doesn't look like a tear at all from this side. As you're being brought to the mansion, and you're glancing back at the mansion, roll me an observation, please.
Grab my dice out of the baggie. Wait, hold on. I'm not using the red dice. I was rolling bad with those last time.
Or were you rolling bad for D&D? Because that's good for here.
Ooh, you're right. You're right. We're going the red dice. Where's my observation? Okay, not bad. 1 success.
That's good enough to know. You're seeing the mansion door like fling open, and that armored individual that had the blood all over their face and dripping over their armor step out. He moves his head around like this, bends down slightly, and jumps. He flies right next to you, and he moves his shoulders forward, like right as he's next to you, and you hear a weird crackling noise, and reddish mist pops out of his back, and there's flapping.
Oh. They fly now.
Did I send a picture of that guy to you guys? I just described him.
I think you just described him.
Okay, let's...
I mean, yeah, we got a picture of some minis, but they look like gargoyles.
Yeah.
Nar.
Nar.
Well, this isn't the best picture of him, but you guys at least get. Okay. Because I might do a video of him, like a mini one.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. So, and he's gliding towards that rift.
Oh, not towards me.
Nope, he flies past you.
Okay.
And let's see here. Yeah, Cedric, sadly, you're brought directly to the mansion doors, and you're starting to be carried in, so you don't get to see what happens with the rift.
No. No.
Yep. So you're probably screaming that, but there's no physical way you're going to overpower these things. So, Frederick, Jade, Fury, you start hearing a, and you kind of glance up, kind of your peripheral on your left side, and you see that armored individual with a strange, like, reddish wings, but they're like 30 feet long to each side, so his span is about 60 feet. But it's not wings, it looks like a mist. And he just kind of hovers in front of that rift as that arm starts reaching out. And he has a great axe in his hands. And he swings. Yep. And that he just plunges the axe into the rift, hitting the creature in the center of the forehead. I don't think I have enough dice at the moment. 2, 4, 6.
This is not good.
2, 4, 6. 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. 18, 19, 20. 21 damage with one hit. And you hear and the arms just kind of buckle back into the rift. And he just kind of hovers there to keep things from coming through.
That's incredible.
Okay then.
I
Well,
mean, it's probably good for us, but not good for Cedric.
Well, so when you hear that thud, like if you've ever heard like a boulder fall from far, or like a car crash, that's what it sounded like when that axe hit.
Oh. Some force behind it.
Yes.
okay.
Jade, Fury, Frederick, what are you going to do? You've got Zeke, Brutus, and
I am locked in on Brutus, so like I would look and see the thing happening, and then I would turn my attention back to him
okay.
to attack him.
All right, so roll away. And Fury, are you still on, or?
Yeah, he's still here. He just I think he's dealing with one of the cats.
Okay.
I think they knocked something over.
Well, if you cook them right, they taste like fish.
I have 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. That definitely would hit. Roll your damage.
I have 3 6s.
Okay.
It's vicious. 1.
Yep. So that's 6 damage. So, boom. Yes. Okay, so you blast him kind of in the chest, right next to that hole that Fury made by ripping out of his heart with that harpoon. What everyone else is gonna do?
I'm thinking that we might need a little bit of backup, so I'm gonna try and summon Duncan.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I would like to do.
All right, roll away.
Awesome. Uh, that is much louder than I thought it'd be. No. That's a wash. Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Bummer.
You feel him wanting to come help, and then you actually feel fear from him.
Golly. Okay. I like that. I like the description.
Because when you're beckoning a soul from beyond, you're actually pulling on its last emotions,
Mm-hmm.
and his last emotions were not awesome, but he still went out kicking.
Okay.
He wants to still fight, but he doesn't feel right about this. So we have Fury.
Hi, sorry, my cat's had knocked a lot of things over, so I'm trying to organize the mess. I would like to drive my harpoon into whichever the nearest bad guy is. I don't remember his name.
Well, the big bad at the moment is Brutus, and you've got Zeke, and you've got 3 ghouls, one of which has a bunch of cuts on them that he summoned and other ones with him.
Probably. I think I would just go for whichever one is closest, which I don't remember if that's Zeke or Brutus.
Well, you had already took Brutus's heart out with your harpoon.
That's right. Well, I'll just keep going on Brutus then.
Okay. Roll away.
Looks like I have 2 successes.
Okay.
So then I can roll my damage, or you can roll defense first.
Let's see, you reset that. He had 2 successes as well, but you're supposed to be the hero, so you succeed.
Nice. Okay, I got a 3, a 2, a 6, a 6, and a 6.
Remember, the 3s and the 4s mean nothing. So,
Okay.
what
So I got-
numbers?
So I did 3 6s and a 2,
3 6s and a 2.
which I think is
Okay.
7 damage.
Well, what are the properties on your harpoon?
I will tell you. Where is it? There it is. It is vicious and piercing.
Okay, so you got 2, 4, 6, 8. You just did 8 damage.
Nice.
Cool. So you drive the harpoon in, and you did this with your left hand because you still have your pistol in your right.
Yep.
So that was Frederick, Jade, and Fury, and out of the corner of you guys' eye, you see. That's 2, 4, 6. You see Jeremiah walking towards y'all, kind of busted up, dragging something.
Can we
Mike.
tell what it is? Can we
Mike.
tell what
I'm all
it
about
is?
it. I'm all about it.
It's the hangman being drugged by Jeremiah's whip. And he looks at you guys slightly victoriously, and then he realizes you guys hadn't finished what you guys started. And he just
I imagine he sees me getting carried off right now.
Does not go after you. Does not go after you.
Probably.
Yeah, he's definitely not.
What I
going
really
after
love
us.
about this.
What I really
is,
love
like,
about this
full
is like
circle for
full
Jeremiah.
circle for
Like,
Jeremiah.
almost got
murdered by
the hangman, and then he gets to return the favor.
I'm having major echo for you guys again. Weird.
Okay.
Yeah. How can I? Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's whatever I did there seems to have taken care of that echo. That is weird. Okay then. So that's you guys' turn. So it's back at the top of Brutus and the flying figure. He's just looking down at you guys. I would have you guys roll a discipline, but you're dealing with a whole bunch right now. All of you would just kind of drop to your knees anyway if you failed. So, let's see. We're going to go with. Well, you just stabbed Brutus, Fury.
Bring it on.
That is 2 successes with a melee. So if you want to attempt a parry.
I do want to attempt it. At least give it my best shot. I got 3 successes. I rolled a natural 1 and a natural 2.
Okay. You parry his attack away.
That's amazing. I really did not think that was going to work.
Zeke has 3 successes throwing a knife at you, Fury.
Oh gosh. Is that also a parry?
Or an acrobatics. Yes.
Okay. Not so good this time. I got no successes on my parry.
Nice. 1, 2, 3. I'm trying not to use my dread. I want to save it for fun stuff later.
I'm
Oh,
shedding
Oh,
a
good.
here right now.
yeah, you're telling me this isn't a good time to use it? What else is
2,
coming?
4, 6. 8 damage from a knife.
Oh, I just took a wound.
Yep. And it went into your right leg. Ha!
Oh,
It's in the bone.
Ugh.
so that's gonna hurt my mobility too, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, any attack you do is 1 additional thing. Also, you still, I believe you have a trauma because you took it by choice.
Yes, I have 1 trauma, and then now I have a wound.
Okay. As a reminder, all your observations should have been 1 more difficult step up because you don't
Okay.
have it patched up. Any mental things, so just as a from going forward. Now, my ghouls. Let's see. That is a single success and a failure to attack you, Frederick, from 2 of the ghouls. Another success. So if you just roll me. Well, that's a single success. You have your saber out, right?
Yep.
Okay, so they do not succeed. And then we have 2 successes, so you can roll a parry with this one.
Okay. Yeah, I will for sure. Parry's good. Okay. Oh. Nice. Okay. Single success.
Okay, so they actually do get you.
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh no.
No. Two. Is it fishes? Yes, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5 to your right leg, and it would be down to 4 because you do have your heavy clothing, so you do not take a wound.
Love that.
That is all the ghouls. Brutus and Zeke have gone. It's top of you guys' turn.
Okay.
Jade, unless you want to go first, I'll try to attack Brutus again.
Go for it.
Okay, I'll go. You know what? Let's do the harpoon again. See what we get. And that will be 3 successes on my melee.
3 successes. Okay, so it only counts as 2.
Oh, that's right, because the one harder. Thank you.
Yep. And that does not get through.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to take out my ceremonial dagger if I haven't yet. I can't
You have
remember.
not. Yeah.
All right. And I am going to look at it and rely completely on the Lady of Death, and I'm going to stab Zeke.
All right. Bring it on.
Cool. What will these do? Okay. 2 successes.
All right. Cool. Roll your damage.
Yarf! Okay. And then it's got Undead 3.
Mm-hmm.
Does
I know.
that... Okay.
If you have an effect, that's
Got it. All right.
If you roll a 5 or a 6, it's not 1 damage or 2. It's 4 damage per 5 or 6.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a 1 and a 5.
A 1 and a 5. So
Yep.
5 damage.
All right.
And it does have piercing, correct?
It does. No, it does not.
Okay.
It does have Sanguine.
Correct. And Jade,
I'm gonna attack Brutus again.
roll away.
I'm locked in. I got 2 successes.
Okay. Roll your damage. Have you been keeping track of how many rounds you've been firing in your pistols?
So I have this game. I don't know where my little sticky note went where I was keeping track. It may still be in my binder, but I am keeping track now for this
Okay.
game.
Because you should be running low for how many times you've been firing with his weapons.
I do have that in my mind.
Okay.
I got a 5, a 6, and a 2 for my damage.
2, 4, 6, so 6 damage. Okay. So, you actually run up and you drive the one pistol into the hole in his chest pointing up and the other one under his head, and you fire both your pistols at the same time, and he just drops back.
That's what's up.
Way
And-
to go.
And when that actually happens, it seems that there was a tie to him and Zeke, and Zeke actually collapses at the same time.
We love.
And you're hearing this strange, like, screaming sigh when that occurs, and the 3 ghouls that are there are looking around, they're shaking their head, then they look up at the flying creature and they bolt.
Nice.
I'm not gonna stop them.
I imagine I would like probably fall to my knees and I'd be like laughing, but I'd also have like tears running down my face because I'm like, this is like a big deal for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely like everybody around me would be like, "Oh, girl, are you okay?" type of thing.
Yeah. We could have you roll an intimidation and they can roll a discipline if you want to because of that.
I would love to.
Us? We roll the discipline?
Yeah, your leader, like it's almost like that she's at it to you could be like getting shell shocked or nervous breakdown or something like that.
I only have one success
Okay.
on that intimidation.
Because everything's one step more difficult, I got 0 successes.
Okay. So if you could roll me 3 damage dice, Courtney.
Whew.
I got a single success.
Okay, so this is not affecting you.
I got
Okay,
a-
cool.
I got a 4,
Thanks.
a 3, and a 1.
A 4, a 3, and a 1. So 1 damage to your resolve fury as you're seeing Jade just kind of laugh about that.
Okay. Got it. Thanks, Jade.
And so after that, you're seeing the individuals kind of slowly come out. You are seeing Tulok and Lily. Like they were starting to go after Cedric, but other flying things came out of the mansion.
Other gargoyles.
Oh no, they don't look like gargoyles.
Vampire.
They look like people.
Before we get too far, can I roll to look through Brutus's pockets and stuff?
You're gonna have to go fast.
Well, I'll do it right now.
Roll your thievery.
I have 3 successes.
Okay. You find a bunch of fingers,
Ooh.
Why?
and just glancing, you can tell he bit them off someone.
Okay, well, I don't take any of the fingers.
Yes, but all of them once had rings, and he doesn't. They're not in his pockets anymore.
Hmm.
Otherwise, there's really nothing. Like it was just a walking corpse that had really weird habits. You're hearing the and Tulok and Lily come back to you guys and like land amongst you. You're still hearing the from them, and that bald, bloodied, armored one just kind of lightly touches the ground in front of you, and you're hearing flapping, and you're seeing let's see, my camera is really small to you guys, so I guess I'll have to take another picture.
Okay.
But these guys, their wingspan is like 15 to 20 feet.
I can't wait to see this picture. I'm scared. It's the Will Ferrell. I'm so freaking scared right now.
Really apologize. I'm really a lot more set up for in-person gaming, so
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's all good.
Good.
there we go. You guys received it?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. That's nice.
So those are just kind of hovering around. You've got about like 6 of them kind of circling, and he's just standing in front of you, and he's talking, and it's it's like three voices in one. Kind of take gravel, kind of going, and then like a high pitch, like literally like a bat squeaking, and then there's like a deep voice saying, but none of you are understanding what he's saying. There's like and you feel Frederick, you feel like a almost like a shivering sensation as someone's trying to hide behind you that's not there.
Are Lily and Tulok saying anything?
They're you look at them, I'm not even gonna have you roll it, but they look shook just by that guy's presence.
Dang, and we don't know what he's saying, so I don't know if if his intentions are
He just
besides his body language. But
yep, and his body language actually let's see how he conveys that pretty well. So if you want to roll a insight, Jade
Yeah. Oh,
and Frederick.
okay.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not even like, I'm just waiting for the next thing to try to kill me.
I got 2 successes.
I only got one.
Okay, he motions his hand like towards the mansion again, and he tips his head in a non-aggressive manner while holding this great axe that's like dripping with like a purple blood from what it hit.
I think we're supposed to go to the mansion.
Yeah, I'm starting to lose confidence in fighting.
Fury's just speechless, just like, okay, what else are we gonna do?
I guess I would just nod and then kind of start moving towards the mansion.
Okay, so as you start moving from behind the building you were just there, Isabel kind of walks. Good choice.
Ooh.
Thanks.
So she's like walking, and she like puts her hand out to hold your hand, Jade, to walk with you.
Okay. I would take it.
Okay, you're taking a super cold child's hand
Nice.
as
I
you're
feel like
walking.
I feel like at this point, like my mental capacity, I'm like a feral animal, so
Yep.
I'd just be going.
Yeah, so you're being circled by those creatures up above. That tall, bald creature is walking with you guys, and he's looking down at you, Fury, as he's walking.
Big dude.
Yep.
I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, is this some kind of angel where the story's wrong? What is going on?
Because he
What
doesn't he doesn't have wings. What, like, it was just like a weird mist that looked like it was flapping.
Okay. Okay, well, still, I'm like spooked out. I'm like, what in the world? I don't know what to be thinking right now.
Yeah, so he's 7, maybe 7'4".
I am clutching onto my dagger
Mhm.
tightly, and it's like tucked into my solar plexus,
Okay.
like it's a lifeline.
I thought you were gonna say you were clutching your pearls.
I do declare I gotta clutch my plural pearls.
So as you're going up the path towards the mansion, the pathway is like lined with all these people.
Are they like vampires? Are they
It looks like they're vampires.
townspeople for sure?
They're
Like,
definitely people you recognize.
okay.
Juan
Are
is
they-
definitely there. So
Okay.
what was
Yeah.
that, Frederick?
Are they bowing?
They're they all have. They're all smiling, like they're not being aggressive to you.
I know what dinner is tonight.
Okay.
So as you're going up, the doors are opened for you by 2 gargoyles. So this is the first time you've seen them close. They're close to 8 foot tall. Stone creatures. One of them has 4 arms, and they move. They don't move jerky like the way you'd think, but they're just watching you as you go through, and once you go through, they don't allow any of the townspeople into the doors. They look and they point to a different way, and then it's like a herd going another direction as the doors are shut behind you.
Interesting.
All right then.
Is there anything out of the ordinary going on in the mansion, or is it just kind of the same as before? We're just
There's
being
lights. There's lights that are lit for you.
Well, it's very nice of them to give us some light.
Yep.
Have we seen Cedric yet?
No, you haven't seen Cedric. Cedric, you were. We'll get back to you, Cedric. So you're brought up the steps, through the Rojas's room, down that path, and into that room with the 2 statues and those 5 doorways. But you're brought to the far left one, not the center one.
Okay.
And when you're in that far left one, there are multiple basins with. And as you go closer up to them, all of you are thinking, "Oh, there must be blood in it." No.
Yep.
There's clean water.
Oh. Okay.
Interesting.
And Cedric is here, and it looks like they force washed him.
Oh no.
They
He's
bathed
grumpy.
them?
I'm grumpy because I didn't get to see what happened outside.
Yeah.
I imagine he's like the cleanest we've seen him in like months.
Yep.
My hair is all slicked back.
Yep. And so that big guy, he sets his axe down, and when he does, it is a ooh, and he just stands upright, and he dips his hands into the water, and cleans his forearms off, tosses it down, grabs his axe, and he just motions for you guys to. And Isabel's like, "Make sure to wash your hands."
Yep.
I would do what I'm told, I guess.
I would also wash my neck.
Yeah. I imagine I have a lot of blood on me.
Yep. So you can, and Isabel actually grabs like these towels for you to dry your hands off. And Jeremiah is here too. So like, he's like, he's got a really swollen right eye. He's like,
Nice to see you, Jeremiah.
Yep. I don't have any of my little tricks at the moment. Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't think any of us do.
And Clementine's at the door as you're led back out to that room and back down to down the center one.
Okay.
When you get to that hexagonal area, the pile of bodies is gone. There is 3 sarcophagi standing to the farthest from you. So one in the center, and then 2 to the side. So there's 3 of them, and one of them is they're definitely black. The one that is slightly open, the man carrying the axe that's armored goes up to it, and he just kind of places his hand inside of it, and kind of like almost like pets it. And he looks to the center one, like bows to the center sarcophagus, and then he goes to the the left one, and he kneels to it.
Fury's thinking, I don't want to meet whatever it is that's making this guy bow.
Yeah, I have no comprehension of what is going on,
Okay.
and I don't know if I would ask.
Okay. So, what? I forgot to have you guys roll an observation while you were walking down those halls. So if you could do that for me.
Okay.
I have one success.
2 successes.
1.
0, because everything's one step harder.
Okay.
Furry's just living the dream.
Frederick, Frederick, with your 2 successes, and well, I'll start with Cedric and Jade, because you had your 1 successes. You're seeing, well, Cedric, this would really intrigue you. It's a type of script that looks almost Babylonian, but Egyptian, and it looks even more like if you've seen like the Babylonian script, how almost aggressive those markings are, make it even more aggressive looking. If that's the way that things are chiseled into the walls, there are pictographs of different things. You're seeing that's the main thing with your 1 success that you'd be really seeing, Cedric. Jade, you're seeing within the pictographs, you're seeing what you'd kind of understand is like a hovering diamond with what must be people bowing to it. And then as you're walking down the hall, it looks like there was an uprising in that diamond falls, and then there are 2 worlds that are split. And Frederick, this is where you kind of are understanding more. That must be another realm. Much like the other realm that you had to deal with the snake ladies, but this is a different one.
Okay.
But this split realm that you're seeing, there's on the other wall you were seeing like it's kind of like the history of Mayans, Aztecs, Egyptians, like all these different things, like some of their mythology that you kind of know, Frederick. Like the sacrifices that the Mayans did and things like that. You're like, why would that be here? The rise and fall, but all connected to this somehow with your 2 observation.
Okay. I don't know what's going on, but there's something involving another world, and I just don't want to be a sacrifice. But I feel like my body is made of daggers right now.
And they're not hindering you from talking or anything. And Cedric, right about now, you're seeing your Tesla gun being wheeled in, attached to more batteries.
Oh, well, thank you. A little bow, I guess.
And they're pointing it above that center sarcophagus.
Ooh.
Of course they are.
What do we do?
Is there a roll I can make to like guess what they're doing? I mean, above table I kind of can guess what they're doing, but like in game.
Or you could ask a question.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could ask him, Cedric.
I would go up and say, "You're handling some very finicky equipment. Might I ask what you're going to do with it, so I can help you make sure it gets done more efficiently?"
And Roberto turns his head to you. If you remember the scientific Rojas.
I think so.
Okay, he was the scientist at the
Oh,
table.
yeah. Roberto. I
Yeah.
see in my notes.
Yep, Roberto. He don't worry, we won't have it thrown across the building or overload its circuits.
I would greatly appreciate that. But is it rude to ask what you're going to do with it? My scientific mind and curiosity is piqued at the moment.
We're going to use it for what it was originally intended for, to open a rift.
Oh, like the one I made outside?
Yeah, but that was haphazard. You didn't know where you were pointing it. And we're going to wait for just the right moment.
There's chaos in everything. That's just the natural order of things. How do you know this one won't go as chaotic as my test outside did?
Test. Huh. We've had a few 100 years of planning.
Well, that would be very nice for me. Luckily, I'm getting in my old age.
Which date are you summoning?
They just kind of grin, and then they're lighting torches, and you're seeing giant statues of those. You've got that lion-headed woman Egyptian statue across from like the Aztec or Mayan, and then there's like you're enveloped by all these different depictions of terrifying creatures.
Do I see anything? Oh, sorry, I did not mean to interrupt
It's
you.
okay. What?
Do I see anything that looks even remotely familiar or oceanic, like in the statues?
Oceanic.
I did not get a success of my observation earlier.
No, you're just kind of awestruck at the moment.
Cool.
At everything. Mr. Rojas and Clementine just kind of, they come from behind, like they walk from behind you. Welcome. It's been an interesting evening, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Very much so.
Clementine, if you could take your position over there. And she stands right next to that center sarcophagus. He walks up to you, Frederick, kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and just like squeezes.
Like in a threatening way, or in like just a friendly like?
It's friendly, but it feels threatening.
Yeah, that's just like a.
Yep. And then he looks at you into your good eye.
Yeah.
Roll a discipline quick for me.
Oh, great.
Ooh.
Critical fail. Okay. Everybody mute except for Frederick, please.
Oh no! What the heck?
When you say mute, do you mean so that I can't hear you or you can't hear me?
You can't hear me.
Okay.
But I'm okay with you watching his reaction. That's why. Okay? I will text you. Okay. Frederick, as you're gazing into Mr. Rojas's eyes, for that millisecond, you see history as it once was. You see that, like, you see the people of the Vampire ruling. You see this beautiful woman with red hair that looks a lot like Clementine. A long time ago, ruling in what must have been Babylon for a time, and Egypt for a time, and then in South America, and she met a man who was wearing conquistador armor that looked like Mr. Rojas, and changed Mr. Rojas. He went back home with her. You see a fire. You see her gone. You see him come back, searching for something. You see a depiction of four things needed. You're seeing a component. You needed 2 of the 4 of many. You're seeing a dog. And you're seeing a creature. A creature with black eyes and sharp teeth. All as components needed to do a certain ritual. And you're also seeing these powerful creatures, and then you see the bald one pop up, and you're seeing a symbol that kind of coincides with him, like a opening of a lock, like he is a keeper of a gate. His presence. Now you can ask questions within your mind of Mr. Rojas.
So, we have everything that you need.
Yes.
And that's gonna make her a queen again? Or is it more so that she'll be made a goddess that she was?
Well, you're with your goddess, your queen. That's all I want too.
That what how are you going to bring her here? What do you mean?
She was taken from me, brought somewhere where she shouldn't be. And we just want to, and I want to open a gate and bring her here.
And is that gate gonna bring mine as well?
Well, we need her to help.
I think our goals are aligned.
Thank you. So,
Okay, I can hear you again.
perfect.
Awesome.
So in that millisecond, that's what happens, Frederick.
Okay. All right then.
It didn't feel like a millisecond to us.
Yeah. And it didn't feel like a millisecond to him either. He looks a lot more pale just in that from that second.
I thought we were gonna come back and you were gonna be like turned into a zombie or eat us or like something.
Can I read his emotion at all on his face, or is he just paler?
You can read the emotion on his face. What would you? What would Frederick's emotion be?
Frederick's emotion is fear, anxiousness, and a sort of reverence.
Okay.
Like awestruck.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So all of you are actually brought out, like there's food brought to you.
Okay.
Like food we've seen before, or is this like food that's like we've never seen before?
It's very well cooked meals.
Okay.
And Clementine is like speaking in that same language that that other one, like that the bald one was. She's speaking to him, and he's not like answering. If you've ever been around that junior high girl that's talking to like a college football player, and he just like, leave me alone, but I don't want to say leave me alone. Like that's the kind of vibe you're getting. And he's just there.
Been there. No, I'm just kidding.
And Isabella is sitting cross-legged, like across from Jade, while you're eating, Jade.
Is Isabella eating, or is she just sitting there?
She's just sitting there. Oh, Frederick, I did. I'll text you the things that I missed. I just remembered.
Okay. Thanks.
Just casually things that he
Yeah,
eats.
thanks. I'm not gonna touch my food at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I would either.
But it's like like I'm staring at the food and I want to eat it, but I can't.
Okay.
Like when you're nervous to take a test.
Yeah.
I feel like I would, because I have no idea what's going on and I don't want to be rude. And also, I'm probably ravenous.
Yep.
So I imagine I also would be factoring in that I probably should eat so I can regain my strength for
Yeah.
something else as well. If
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I'd be a little nervous to ask.
Okay. Did that make sense, Frederick?
Not the last part, but I'm gonna think about that.
Okay. All right. So this is a really strange. Like there's a pulsing. You're noticing it now, but you're like, this must have been happening when we first came here. But it's like speeding up. Like, and so it's sped up, and Cedric, you look at your watch, and your second hand, whenever one of those pulses happens, the second hand like skips ahead 10, 15 seconds, and then the minute hand, or like it just pulses, and you're like, it's like almost noon the next day.
Spooky.
Do you guys remember what the date was?
Today? Yeah. It's either 26th or the 27th of April.
It was the 26th. Now it's the 27th. Do you remember what happened the 27th of April in 1876? Frederick? Or should I say Bo?
Yeah, I remember.
So as that second hand strikes 12, you hear a and they fire that Tesla gun into the air.
Oh.
And as they fire it, there's a rip right above you. It's the largest one you've seen. It's bigger than that 30-foot, and it's first a slit, and then it opens up to like a perfect circle above all of your heads. Isabella, standing in front of you, Jade, looks to your right, and you're feeling Kent there, and now you're seeing him there.
Oh,
I would reach out and touch him if I can.
You feel the warmth in him.
Does he look? Does he look like regular dog Kent or like scary?
He's
Dog.
scary.
Okay.
Oh.
He's scary looking. Frederick, you see Lady Death right there, and she's like grasping your hand tightly, and she's looking around, and then she looks straight at Tulak and Lily, because right between them, as they're holding their hands, something kind of is pulled from them. It's a terrifying creature, 12, 15 feet tall, with these massive horns, these grotesque teeth coming out, giant shoulders, looking around with flaming eyes. And you all look at Cedric, and his eyes turn totally black. And
Yeah.
and his teeth look sharp. It's exactly like the manifestations when you were all on peyote. And Clementine looks up in the air. Yes, come forth, my lord, empower us. As the sarcophagus that the bald one was kneeling to creaks open, he goes over to the sarcophagus that he had pet prior, and he slams his axe into it and turns it like a key inside of his own. You're hearing a that center sarcophagus starts opening as well. Dust kind of floods out of it, and you're all noticing that you're all standing in a circle. You've got Cedric, Frederick, Jade. Now Fury and Jeremiah, you're kind of off to the side.
Okay.
Are we close enough for like reaching out and touching distance, or is it like we're like in a big room far apart?
It's a pretty big room. It's like, what would your intent be? Like, you just want the visual?
Yeah, just trying to visual it for potentially whatever
Okay.
is going to happen.
Yeah. So you're farther than reaching distance, but that you're feeling like power coming from Kent. Kent is holding something back for this to occur, and Lady Death, like, there's just her presence there is actually like calming something else down, and that creature in between Tulak and Lily is actually like making something scared to stay away.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
because Cedric is there, what he represents is actually drawing something in. And then Isabella is smiling, giggling, and like clapping her hands amongst the circle, and Javier looks the healthiest he's ever looked. And Clementine is standing in front of that large sarcophagus, and something steps out of the sarcophagus that the bald one was kneeling to. Everyone roll a discipline for what you see.
On it.
I have 3 successes.
Three
Holding that
successes?
one.
one
0 for me.
one success.
I am locked in.
Okay.
That extra step of difficulty is extra step of difficulty.
2 successes.
3 resolve for what you guys see.
Everyone?
Yeah, you needed 2. So if anyone had 2, you didn't. You don't need to take
Okay.
3. So this withered, dry husk of a woman wearing golden garb, like jerkily moving out from that one and going towards the center sarcophagus. That center one, that as it was opening up, that dust came out, and you're seeing a large, shadowy, winged creature coming out, reaching forth towards that dry husk of a woman, as Clementine's reaching up towards the shadowy creature. And Mr. Rojas walks behind Clementine, grabs her, pulls her in, embraces her, kisses her, and then drives his teeth into her neck aggressively as she screams out, as
Does
she
she
sees
seem
the
surprised?
dried husk coming towards her.
Oh. Brutal.
Wow.
And he throws Clementine into the arms of that mummy, in essence, as she's screaming, trying to push away as it's starting to feed on the other side of her neck. And that shadowy creature just starts engulfing them and pulling them into that center sarcophagus.
It's not how I thought that would look.
And then, and you're hearing banging, screaming, and then the banging and screaming stops, and the Tesla gun, Ricardo changes some things, and he fires it again above his head, and the sarcophagus creaks open, and like a flood of dust or ash comes flooding out from underneath, and Clementine steps forth with a giant grin on her face and grabs Mr. Rojas, and they embrace.
Little body
Okay.
switcheroo, I think.
Does she look any different, or
Her eyes are totally black, but other than that,
Oh, okay.
only entirely black? Okay. I feel like all of us are just like,
Yeah. Hoping you forget I exist.
Yeah. Like, what the heck is
yeah, yeah. Well, now it's like we're so far in deep. It's like we got to see it through. Like,
yep. And Isabella runs up and hugs them both, Javier, and then Mr. Rojas turns to you, Frederick, and just nods, and then kind of motions for you all to leave.
Okay.
Will I get my Tesla gun back?
The bald individual just steps back into the sarcophagus that he turned that axe, and it closes around him, and it slowly tips down. And Javier looks to you, Cedric. Do you want to take it with you now, or we could mail it?
Well, that is true. My animal that was carrying it is now no longer alive. I guess should I looked at everybody else and I'd be like, should I have it mailed? I mean,
I think you should
Yeah.
have it mailed.
Yeah.
Whenever you
mail it.
guys don't need it, just mail it.
okay. Take good care of it. It is my pride and joy. I would like it mailed to me.
Mr. Rojas looks to you, Fred. Do you all want another meal before you go? It's time to celebrate for us.
Yeah. Yes.
We would love to celebrate with you guys.
It would be a
You
shame
needed,
to turn down your
maybe we
hospitality.
Uh,
I have.
excuse me. Sorry, Mr. Rojas, was it? I love a good celebration. Forgive me, I'm a little confused. Could you help me understand what I'm celebrating so I can celebrate it well? I just don't know what's going on.
So after you ask that, the Clementine that you see right before you just appears right in front of you, Fury, like at your eye level because she's hovering,
Okay.
and she just kind of, and as she's kind of turning her head, whenever the shadow is there, it almost morphs her face into something far more animalistic just for a second.
Okay.
Roll a discipline as she's looking into your eyes.
1 success.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't.
Great.
So, I'll not have everyone turn their audio off for this one. You guys can listen to this one. You're seeing history as it truly was, Fury. There was the serpent folk before man, the pre-Adamic race. Then Adam came, and when he fell, there was another creature that rose up next to him, the vampire, the child of the night. It doesn't go into how they started or anything, but they were there. She was there. And as she went with the growth of humanity, she made sure that things grew, but didn't grow too far beyond their means to have another Tower of Babel situation. But man, of course, always saw her as a deity and those like her. You're seeing the bald one, her warrior, her juggernaut, her brother, always there to open the gate to let those that want to pass on to another realm to be able to do, or to bring forth the calamities when need be. So through Samaria, Egypt, the Mayans, the Aztecs, she was there along with her siblings. But when the conquistadors came, that's where Mr. Rojas came in that armor. And they fell in love. She changed him. He brought her back to Spain, and something happened. Pretty much a witch hunt. They burnt her alive. They staked her. And as she dried up, he was given a vision of how to bring her back. He needed a hellhound. He also needed 2 of the 4 of many. He needed a burnt child that was turned and healed. He needed a sickly man that was turned and healed. He needed an intellectual that was turned and healed. And he also needed a man of science that was tainted to be a ghoul. All as components for a ritual to bring her back. But the most important thing he needed someone that looked exactly like his love, and it just so happened to be Clementine. And you're seeing in this that Mr. Rojas deceived Clementine, making her think that they were going to bring back a vampiric god that was going to bestow her and her alone power.
I would essentially, I mean, it wouldn't look very graceful because I've probably never done it before, but basically give like an attempt at a formal bow, like not a deity kind of way, but like what you would do for like the queen.
Okay.
Like something of that energy. And I would just say, I see now, and I'm amazed.
And she just kind of hovers back next to Mr. Rojas.
I would look at Mr. Rojas and I would say, I cannot imagine the patience and the effort it took to do this, and celebration is well deserved.
We could always give you the gift of true patience.
The gift of what? Sorry.
True patience.
Oh. I'm on another quest, but I'll consider it, and I appreciate your offer.
And Javier is like right next to you. Don't wait too long. You don't want to lose any strength that you have. And he just pops right back to where he was before.
I'll keep that in mind.
So they do serve you more food, and if you have any other questions for them, but it is like you're hearing the town being dismantled when you're in the mansion.
At this point, I wouldn't comment on it. Like, I'm just, I'm in survival mode, processing.
And Mr. Rojas takes two things off of his jacket, and he moves them towards Jade and Frederick. As a thanks, you can have 2 more guardians for your building.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Do you need anything else? Because it's going to be very hard to get a hold of us after this next evening.
You've already done so much for us, and I'm sure if we need to ever speak again, that you will contact us.
I do have one question.
Mm-hmm.
Does this kind of ritual work with anyone, or does it have to be a particular individual?
Oh, you're trying to bring her back?
And just silence from me.
That sensation that someone's reading your mail as you're thinking of it, Cedric, is happening.
I mean, I think you already know what I'm hinting at, but I don't want to let it all out, let it air out in the room. So I just would really like to know.
The sickness that she has is not of this world. The creature that my brother-in-law held back, that you so joyously brought to this realm with your 3 shots. They're connected slightly. But you might want to attempt to get a hold of your father or the organization he is a part of. I do believe they have some knowledge of that. But let's see. Roll me a d20 and tell me what the number is.
Okay. 14.
14? On All Hallows Eve this upcoming year, we'll send some help to hopefully get her back for you.
A tear rolls down my face and says, "I would greatly appreciate that." And then he drinks some schnapps.
Okay.
When you're finished, I wanna roleplay something.
Go for it.
Fury's going to. I'm assuming we were sitting at the table,
Mhm.
so I'll stand up and, oh, wise one, I may not have your good grace to ask this, but I'm going to try. I want the beast that took everything from me. Is there any kind of way that you can help me to avenge my lost brothers?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Clementine jumps on the table. Her feet are right next to you, and she grabs right at your chin, and she's looking you in the eye.
Oh.
I'm not gonna have you roll the discipline again, but you see that knight again with the creature that took your boat
Okay.
and your men, and you're seeing why it happened.
Oh.
Someone dropped anchor on it.
Oh. I would just immediately, like, I am unmade. My entire reason for still breathing has just disappeared. And I hope she senses my gratitude because I am just completely shocked.
And you're seeing the guy that did it because he stumbled back because you had corrected him 3 nights in a row not to be drinking on the job, and he did, and he stumbled back and he hit the release for the anchor, and he brought it back up, and then you felt the slam after the anchor was back up.
Just like tears. Doesn't even know what to say. Just shame, anger, loss, disappointment, hollowness. Because now I'm questioning, like, well, then the beast doesn't deserve vengeance.
It's just like a bull sperm whale protecting its herd, or just anything. So
Yeah. I would.
and then you're in your head, you feel if you still want something done to it.
I would just nod, like, no, not yes, like shake my head no, and just try to find the words. They probably only be inside my head, so hopefully she could hear me. I don't know what I want, but if it was us that started it, then it doesn't deserve our vengeance. And I will probably think back to the night, her worst night, with the witch hunt and all that, and be like, I don't want to repeat the mistakes that other people have made.
And then you're seeing other ones that, like, why societies had fallen, where they were doing the same thing, trying to do that, but they just had never caught her. They did catch her, some other siblings throughout the time.
Hmm.
And you know that they do not know where they were buried.
Yeah, I wouldn't have much to say after that. I just sulk,
Okay.
probably.
Yep. So, the conclusion of that day, well, like throughout the evening, you heard the town being dismantled, and so right before the sun comes up, they're like, you can leave now. Go back to Talon's Trail. Oh, and Edmund was there too in your circle. I just didn't need that.
Oh,
I've been
Edmund!
Oh,
wondering
good.
about it.
Yeah, sorry. I had all this stuff written down. I keep forgetting to grab it, but Edmund was actually a component as well because him being an undertaker, he was the go-between, and yeah, you never mess with a grave digger. But so Edmund's like through all this, he's like just kind of like awestruck seeing all the people again and actually seeing the undead. He's like, oh, this is fun.
So, does so when we step out to leave, like, is the town just?
It's like it was never there.
Oh.
Yeah.
So all the bodies,
Like
and
the mountain.
carnage and stuff is gone.
It's gone.
Are the train tracks gone?
The nearest train is more than a day away.
Yeah,
Oh,
we have
that's
to
right,
ride
that's
in. Yeah.
And the caves are filled in.
A lot of them, yeah.
Before we leave, I would want to ask what they did with Brutus's body.
Do you want to do something to it?
I won't. I want to make sure that he stays dead.
Oh, he's definitely will.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sadly, we needed someone with that evil of a heart to do some things, to get other things for us. And it was Clementine's idea to actually make sure it was him to mess with you.
Wow.
Well, it works.
Oh, and then the new Clementine takes that reliquary off and hands it to you. It's your finger. Clementine found your finger and had it around her own neck.
Duh.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Okay, well,
Good for you.
that's pretty neat, I guess.
I would take my finger.
She gave you the finger.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got so much going on mentally. Like, I'm like reeling.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have anything else to add at that point. I would be just ready to go home.
Yep.
Can I still see Kent, or did he like?
That once that rift above you closed, that was that.
Okay.
Actually, I just thought of something. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
There was one time where I went to meet my mistress, and I found that she had been battered. Who did that? And can you solve that problem for me?
And he looks into. I'm just gonna keep saying Clementine because there's no way I could actually say an ancient tongue like that.
Right.
Right,
And
yeah.
we know that as Clementine's
And she's
body, at least.
yeah, and she doesn't walk. She just hovers. Like just the whole time. Yeah. So she hovers, kind of tips her head, looks back at the mansion, and you see a big explosion as that black sarcophagus flies out, and it opens up, and her brother steps out, reaches his hand back, grabs the axe, and then she just kind of motions her head like that and looks directly to your side, Frederick, and just nods to that it's Lady Death, and he just
Thank you. And I'll bow my head, as if bowing to Regal.
Good. And she says some strange noises, and Mr. Rowe says, that's a good point. He has a bad habit of bringing back heads. So, I apologize for that now.
Okay.
Well, I'm ready to
Okay.
pack it up and head
So
out.
as you guys head out of town, you see that the mansion like starts to crumble, and you see two figures start floating off, and of course Tulak and Lily say their goodbyes to you guys, and they head off
Into the
towards
sunset.
as the sun is actually rising.
Good for them.
And as y'all are heading towards the train station to go back to Talon's Trail, you're seeing this procession of all the townspeople, and you're seeing Isabella, and all their like just being cared for, and they're going to you don't know where.
I would wave bye to Isabella.
Same.
And you get back to Talon's Trail, and Jade, after Fury, you sit in your room for a really long time, pondering what brought you here, and you might feel that your journey has ended. Cedric, you are planning and prepping. You are studying. You are prepping for All Hallows Eve this upcoming year. And Frederick, you are having long conversations with Lady Death. And Jade, you have a wedding.
After I mentally recover.
Yep.
But I do have a wedding.
Everyone's there, and there's actually, you guys have a place set for the Rojas family that during the wedding, no one was there, but someone did sign your guest book, and there are gifts from them.
Oh,
That's kind of them.
that's
How
so
sweet.
cool.
Very old artifacts from civilizations that no one will ever find again.
Oh, Thaddeus loves that. Those
Yep.
are the best weddings.
Yep.
Yep, and for Jade, there's this like an apron necklace that is, it's not gold, it's not platinum, it's a strange metal that is extremely cooling when it to the touch, and the gems themselves look like they're like you're looking into them, and it's almost like you're looking into the night sky with like stars in the distance.
Wow.
Neat.
Neato.
It's pretty neat.
We're gonna skip ahead to All Hallows Eve that year.
Yeah.
Cedric, this is up to you if everyone else would be there, or if it would just be you. We could. Which you prefer?
I think it would just be me.
Okay, you're seated there in the hills above Talon's Trail, holding that jar that you're hearing and you actually have Hansel that you've put hydraulics in him, and you've pretty much made him into Leonardo's robot that could sit and walk, if you've looked into that at all.
Mhm.
Leonardo da Vinci's. And you're holding that jar, and you hear just the movement of two capes. You see Clementine and Mr. Rojas there, and they set down it would be a parcel that looks humanoid, but it's missing a head.
I'm assuming I placed the head
Okay.
on the parcel.
Okay, so Clementine grabs the head from inside the jar, places it on the stump. Tendrils from the head grow out into the body. It jerkily gets up, and it lunges at you aggressively, trying to eat you. But she stops it, drives her fangs into the side of the neck, and then Mr. Rojas does the other side. And it seems that the aggressive nature of their curse overpowers the other curse.
Oh.
And for the first time in 20, 30 years, you see the light bluish gray eyes of your wife blink back at you from their white nature as she lunges towards you and hugs you. Sadly, sadly with a thirst for the rest of eternity, but still, you know.
That's okay. I think at this point, I I would be like just like weakly hug her back. Just like I kind of want to collapse though at the same time because
Okay.
it finally happened. And you'd say, I thought I'd never see you again.
I was always with you.
Well, I mean, you were saying some creepy things in my mind that I didn't always wanted to go with, but I don't know if actually that was you or not. I might have been just going a little crazy.
Little.
A little. Well, if you haven't aged today, and I've gotten old and weary. I have a son now. You chubby Samhanzo.
She looks at the grotesque horror that you've created. Let's talk about that later.
I say son, quote unquote, with my fingers.
Yep.
She's a stepmom.
That was kind of a result. Tried to get to you.
Yep. So, oh my gosh. So, Cedric, you have your wife once again.
Yay!
And however you choose to spend the rest of your life, or if you choose to have an unlife, you can do that. And Frederick, a night far from now, you wake, but you truly don't wake from a night's rest, and you walk down an aisle with Lady Death, and you become one of the four of many with her, for her not to be totally alone.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
Jade, you and Thaddeus run the organization of Courageous Hearts Detective Agency and save many lives and put a lot of dark things below the earth that need to be there.
Do we? So I guess this is me being nosy. Do we break the 7 sons thing curse that? Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
So what's the name of your daughter?
Oh. Hang on, I want to look something up.
Probably not Clementine. What a blankety blank, am I right?
Yep. Oh, she was horrible.
Terrible. That's bad.
Her name would be Nova, which means new or beginnings.
Okay. Cool. And with that, we will say good night and goodbye to our friends from Grip.
Wait,
Oh my
Real
gosh.
quick, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Can I say Fury's End?
Yes.
He
He dies.
leaves he dies. He leaves Courageous Hearts,
Sorry.
and he goes back and tells the truth to his son, and they are, after many difficult years, reunited. The end.
Okay, cool. All right.
Wonderful.
So, with that, we'll sign off and we'll play. If you guys want to do another Grit game in the future, we totally can, but these guys have been wrecked mentally.
Yes.
I was gonna say, yeah. Jade's got at the point where I was gonna say she retires from the actual adventuring part of it for sure.
Mhm.
Like, cannot mentally do
Yeah.
it no more.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna sign off so I can do all this, but we can still chat while I'm doing that. So,
Okay.
bye.